it is time for Astro Weekly again here, and we're looking at the week of November 13th straight through the 19th. The moon here, everyone, is in the sign of Taurus, so we're feeling really good, aren't we? We're feeling grounded. We're feeling like things really matter, as it does to all Taurians. But here, regardless of our own sun sign, we're feeling that Taurian energy as our moon, our emotions are really embracing this energy. And we will have that here till the evening of tomorrow evening on the 14th. Now, we are starting off with the moon and Mars. They're square here on Sunday. These two energies, when they get going like this, it's kind of getting up towards a wall, up against that wall. The moon wants to do one thing. Mars is craving or demanding you to go do something else. And so we find ourselves in a little bit of a tug and war. Now, you might just want to go relax and find something fun to do, but there might just now be certain things that you have to follow up on and push through on. So, however that's going to work out for you, it's only going to be a couple of hours that it might inconvenience you a little bit, but then you're off to play, have fun, enjoy yourself, follow your passion, your oomph, your dream, as the moon here is sextile with Neptune. That is what you actually are reaching for. That higher ideal, that feel good feel, where your emotions can really reach for the stars, right? Neptune gives you that inner sense, knack, and know how inspirationally, intuitively. So today you might just feel that your psychic energies are way up there. And to power it up even more so is the moon here with its trine to Pluto. Pluto is always that pivotal point of transformation. It's our passion. The moon will come into this position here a couple of times a month, bringing it to fruition, those things that you have been working for and so forth. So today is a day to receive. It's all those laurels now that we so deserve. I feel the 13th is going to be a wonderful day for you. Moving right along into Monday, the 14th, we have the sun and moon. They are opposing each other. It's a full moon, guys. So whatever now you've, for the last 14 days, have been working for and towards, ever since that new moon, this is the day that it will fulfill itself. You should see that your pot is full. And if you have done great lead work, this will be the time to receive. We love that. It's going to be a glorious full moon and also very much so a supermoon. They're saying one of the strongest ones for decades. Well, it is so close here to the earth. So make sure that you're out there at sunset to watch when that moon will arrive. It is going to be awesome and beautiful. Get some good pictures, guys, all right? Post it here to this link and let us see it. At 6:24 p.m., the moon will be changing, shifting from Taurus into Gemini. Now, when the moon is in Gemini, listen, we're going from our comfort feeling where we have been the last couple of days. Now it's all about communication. Regardless of our sun sign, we all will feel and hear. And if we pay attention, we will notice how everybody's that much more communicative. Geminis love to talk. They chat, they share interests, insights, knowledge, tidbits of news, this and that, and we will feel that with ourselves as well. Now, coming into Tuesday, we see we have quite a few aspects at hand. Starting off with Mercury, which is our communication skill, and Mercury is what rules Gemini, and so it's a double whammy for us. Mercury is going to not just communicate, but it's going to trigger that fiery, feisty Mars. So we are totally aligned with what we think, we act, right? That's not always the case. We might think one thing and act on something else. But today, we're going to see how these two energies merge together. And so we are dynamic. The moon, our emotions, will be opposing Mercury. We might have to find ourselves up against a choice or in a probably disagreement with somebody that's coming from a totally different point of view. That's okay. Just don't get into it if you don't feel like it. Just nod your head and say, oh, okay, yeah, I get that, right? You can do that. You can agree without having to actually pinpoint your deepest belief system. Sometimes it's okay just to agree with that. That's where they are coming from. And then we kind of just, ease out of any kind of situation that could bring tension to the table. Now, the moon also will be training off on Mars. So, Mars being your primus motor, right? You're actively now pursuing your passion from your moon is firing up on this as well. So I feel that if you're really wanting to accomplish, go for it, but try to not push. Saturn is opposing this moon, so there might be some limitations, but lo and behold, sometimes that is what fires people up even more to pursue even harder. And I'm thinking it's also because of the square to Neptune. If you're feeling something has been promised, it's not being followed up on, that might just get your soup boiling, and then you might push that little bit harder. Then again, all I want to say, show a little caution so you don't lose out on it, all right? Sometimes patience, not only is it a virtue, but it can bring you that much more than having to pursue. Look at Jupiter. Jupiter's telling you things are okay. Trust it, even though maybe a communication is not coming in as expected. Maybe you sent a text to somebody who is not responding to you. Don't let it get your goat, all right? Now, I see how it's tugging on you as the moon is opposing Saturn, and you're just wanting to try to regain some control in this situation. But my advice, step aside, watch it come together. Why? Because it will. If we look at the 16th here, the moon and Uranus sextiling, that's going to be somewhat news of joy, unexpected news, good news though, mind you. Uranus can always bring that element of surprise, and it might come at a time, might come from an angle that you hadn't anticipated, but what it is going to do, it's going to jolt your energy, and trust me, you're going to feel good about it. We're moving out of this whole cycle of communication and now into something that's going to be a little bit more gentle, perhaps, and feeling like we can nurture the ones that we love. We can also be in a position to receive a little bit more nurturing energy too, as the moon here at 5:58 p.m. will move out of Gemini into the sign of Cancer. So the energy is going down, and maybe that's why we had all this upheaval there on the 15th, because communication kind of got stuck or delayed or misunderstood. But now, see, you got it going for you. On the 17th, we have not only the moon in Cancer, but we're looking at our emotions and trying to check out how we can integrate more and share more. Not only because it's that Cancerian energy, but it's the moon reaching for Venus. It's giving out a lot of Venus. It's giving out love, but it's also looking at now the balance of receiving, and it's gentle. It is because Neptune is here also very well aligned to the moon, and Neptune being that higher aspect of Venus. It's soft, it's gentle, but it really wants now to be acknowledged for what you're giving, and that shows with Jupiter being square and Pluto being opposed. Now, these two energies are knocking off on your internal emotional system, the moon. And if you're feeling something hasn't followed up, well, you might just feel a little upset about it and try to rebalance. Now, this can take us back to the 15th of what didn't really come together. You might have a conversation or a talk, discussion as you're trying to emotionally work out your relationship here today. That is going to carry over into the 18th. That is Friday. You might feel that even though something could have been achieved, it's still lingering, guys. It's not all solved yet. Sometimes we can solve everything in one conversation, right? Then there is times where a conversation, a discussion can go over days, maybe even a couple of weeks if it is a process. I'm taking from what I'm seeing that you're in a process that's not going to solve itself on the spur of the moment. I'm seeing how you are feeling that something might still be a little off here, and you're thinking of how you can actually solve it in a spiritual way. That is Neptune. Your Mercury is thinking how to communicate that, and then emotionally, how to change it. That is the moon square off on Uranus. So go and see now to be true to yourself and how you feel, what it is you deserve, because the sun is getting that energy from the moon. It's all about you aligning yourself to what you feel you deserve on that higher level. Sometimes we're thinking change has to change out there for harmony to come our way, but no, we really need to see it within ourselves, what it is we feel we deserve, what it is we see. When we do that, we can bring that energy from within and out into the universe and attract it that way. So it's a magical pivotal point here today on the 18th. Now this evening at 8:15, the moon will be moving out of that inner soft, sensitive self of Cancer into the sign of Leo. So watch how the energies are going to pick up and become that much more fiery here into the evening. The moon will be in Leo a couple of days, and it's going to be that much more playful. It's feisty. It's fire, right? And so it brings us to the end of this week. The 19th, as we can see, there is Venus and Neptune. Now, this is romantic. I'm feeling everything that you started working on, maybe they're from the full moon on the 14th, okay? Here to now the 19th. This is the day that things should start really coming together. I'm seeing this is a beautiful date night. So dress up, go out, have a great meal, glass of wine, and the intimacy should be very romantic. Venus and Neptune, Neptune being that higher aspect of Venus. It's really beautiful. Communication is good today because the moon is trining off on Mercury, which is the linear communication between you and your partner, and also it being here opposed to Mars, that means that you're really stretching now to get that energy up and out and to be able to receive it as we come to a close between the moon and Jupiter. That is a present, after any kind of process. We're always looking at something being given in return from the universe for work being well done. Now, you have that here as we're getting in to closing off on this Saturday evening of the 19th of November. So listen, guys, have a fabulous week. Come back and check it midweek just to see where you are so that you line up with all the information that is here. You can take it as a day-to-day notebook astrologically, right? So let me thank you for all your comments, your liking, your sharing. I so appreciate it. And listen, I will see you next week and have a wonderful one.